Hi, my name is Kelly Bulkley, and this is a pre-presentation of a talk I'm going to give at the upcoming annual conference of the International Association for the Study of Dreams, held in the Netherlands at Rolduc Abbey. The presentation will be on Monday, June 27th, part of a symposium organized by Bernard Welt on the theme of Mediated Dreaming, which means the interaction of new media technologies and the study of dreams. The other presentations by Deirdre Barrett and Jane Gackenbach will look at dreams in relation to film and video gaming, areas where technology is inspired by dreams and trying to simulate dreams, where creating a dreamlike experience is a goal and a marker of success. I'm looking at digital technology as a tool for studying actual dreams, not simulations of them. And specifically, I'm looking at what these technologies will change for the people who use them as the tools develop and improve over time. I'm curious about how the technologies will impact people's engagement with their dreams and with each other. In coming years, digital technology will increasingly become a mediating factor between the waking self and the dreaming imagination, with the potential for very positive applications in a variety of areas. The changes will also bring a negative potential for many kinds of abuse. And I'd like to share some thoughts with you about ways of enhancing the positive effects and minimizing or eliminating the negative effects of the rapidly increasing power of these technologies. So let's start with some basic principles. What is dreaming? What kind of phenomenon is it? I consider dreaming to be a radically open system with qualities of complexity, dynamism, nonlinearity, and multidimensionality. And if we recognize that the dreaming has these kinds of qualities, it's really amazing that we can identify any kinds of consistent patterns at all, because there's so much going on. It's on so many different levels. But thanks to a lot of great research over the years, we can identify at least a few consistent, meaningful patterns in dream content. We're getting better at this, and soon we may get very, very good at it. And so the question then becomes, where is this progress going to lead? What does success look like? Well, I want to emphasize that this kind of approach is not a purely modern interest. It has a history, a long one in fact. It goes back at least as far as ancient dream interpreters and encyclopedists like the Roman Artemidorus, the Muslim Ibn Sirin, and others who gathered large quantities of material about dreams and sifted through it all in search of recurrent images and themes and meanings. In modern social scientific research, this approach goes back to Mary Calkins, Dorothy Egan, Calvin Hall, and Robert Van de Castle, and more recently G. William Domhoff and Adam Schneider and their dreambank.net website. My contribution, directly inspired by Domhoff and Schneider's work, has been the development of the Sleep and Dream database, an online digital archive and search engine designed specifically for use with dreams and for the study of dreams. I talk a lot about this in my new book, Big Dreams. So that's where I talk a lot more about the STDB. But just to indicate that there is a historical lineage for this kind of process of systematically studying dreams, looking through large collections of them, and trying to discern meanings from those large gatherings of material. So the question now is, what exactly does modern digital technology add to this ancient practice of interpreting dreams? And one way to begin answering this question is to refer to the two pioneers of Western dream psychology, Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. Digital technology is helping us analyze dreams as Freud advocated, breaking dreams down into smaller elements and examining their meaningful interactions with each other. Digital technologies are also helping us to amplify dreams as Jung advocated, connecting their themes and images with a wide range of other dream material. Jung was a big proponent of studying dreams in series, not just individually, and I think he would be very intrigued by these new digital tools. Horrified too, perhaps, but definitely intrigued. So, getting more specific, here's how I would outline the generic kind of digital dream interpretation process that's emerging and I think will will accelerate in coming years. And I see 6 basic steps involved here in setting up a framework for digitally enhanced dream interpretation. First step is gathering lots of diverse and high quality data. The more that, the better. And that's why progress is almost certain in the future, that as we gather more data and bring it together and analyze it collectively. Secondly, applying search tools that are designed for the study of dreams, not necessarily for other kinds of phenomena, because dreams have their own specific features. And I think with search tools, and I've got some word search templates on the Sleep and Dream database website that enable, sort of like the Holland Van de Castle coding system, a way of specifically analyzing dream content and creating basically the foundation for the third step, which is comparing the results of these kinds of analyses with trustworthy baselines. You can analyze dream content and its frequencies, but you need to have some foundation for comparison, for knowing are these high frequencies, low frequencies, average frequencies. So you need some kind of baselines. The Holland Van de Castle norm dreams have served as those kinds of measuring sticks in the past. I've developed baselines for the Sleep and Dream database that I'm using as a measuring stick to try to analyze variations in frequencies of dream content. So baselines for comparison is an essential step in this kind of process. And then a fourth step, taking those comparisons and looking at them in relation to hypotheses from dream research, hypotheses about typical patterns in the dreams of men and women, of older people and younger people, patterns in content elements of emotions or characters or social interactions. Many different ways that at that point in the process, bringing in the findings of dream research enables some specific points of contact, which then becomes the fifth step, correlating the dream patterns with the individual dreamer's waking life and looking for possible connections. And final step, the sort of the output of the process, would be a system, a set of inferences about probable connections between the dreams and the dreamer's waking life. And these inferences, I think, are always going to be probabilistic, the likelihood of a meaningful connection between something in the dreams and something in the dreamer's waking life. Ideally, the dreamer would be able to provide feedback right away about the accuracy of these inferences, so the process could be improved and refined and in many ways customized for the individual user. So there, I think just with that is kind of the schematic outline of how that kind of digitally enhanced dream interpretation process would work. I think there are several advantages that immediately present themselves. It's a very transparent approach and process. You can kind of see where things are coming from, where the inferences are being generated. It's a replicable kind of process that I could describe the steps that I take to find a certain result, and other people could repeat those steps and find presumably what I find. It's very powerful. It can crunch huge amounts of numbers and quantitative data very quickly, so it's a very fast system, very simple, easy to use. Just a few clicks of the keyboard can get really interesting results. And it has a high degree of accessibility. It's the kind of system that I think will be easy to expand in a wide range of contexts and settings and for a wide range of users. Biggest advantages, really, beyond those, are that this kind of approach can improve with experience. The more it's used, the more we get feedback from individual dreamers, the smarter this kind of system becomes, and the more we can fine-tune the inferences and increase the levels of probability of those inferences. And also, so many advantages. I think another one is that it can liberate, in a way, human intelligence and effort from the tedious number crunching tasks of quantitative dream research, allowing more focus by the human interpreter on pattern recognition, intuitive insights, things like that. And the basic idea is to let machines do what they do best, so humans can do what we do best in terms of our special abilities at intuiting gestalts and patterns and meaningful connections. Now, lest anyone think that this is a kind of automated process that's going to take jobs away from people and give them to machines, here's some areas where I think this tool will actually support human work and creativity. I foresee direct benefits for advanced versions of this kind of process for practitioners in several kinds of fields, including psychotherapy, medicine, arts education, athletic training, spiritual counseling, many others where I think this kind of tool, refined and improved and customized for specific kinds of uses, could be enormously helpful in the work of people like that. And pretty much professionals engaged in any area where they're working on issues of problem solving, of improving interpersonal relations, observing and analyzing and evaluating cultural trends. Those areas I think can also benefit from special applications of this kind of way of discerning deeper meanings in dreams. So now I think a really interesting realm of questions, and we don't know yet, but it's something I think we should be looking for, is what will be the psychological impact of these technologies on the individual dreamer, the person who is getting this feedback and taking it in and going on with waking and dreaming life with that enhanced self-understanding of their dreamer. What could we expect would be the psychological impact of that? At a minimum, I think we would see a kind of a potentially strong decentering of the waking ego, a sense of, and kind of going along with that, an expanded sense of self-awareness, a broader sense of one's own psyche. I think a very likely impact would be to stimulate creativity in the sense of promoting an awareness of meaningful connections among far-flung aspects of life and experience and perception, kind of the definition of creativity in that way. And I think it would be very likely that a psychological impact would be to increase empathy, increase an ability to take other people's perspectives, to recognize other people's points of view, to recognize the relativity of one's own point of view. I would think that those would be likely psychological consequences of including these kinds of dream interpretation technologies more fully in people's lives.